Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Vision Podcast. I am John, and it is wonderful to have you listening with us today. Whether you are driving, cooking, or just relaxing at home, we are glad you are here. As always, I am joined by my fantastic co-host, Sarah. How are you doing today, Sarah?
Hello, everyone. I am doing very well, John. Thank you. I am excited to be here and to learn something new today.
I am excited too. You know, Sarah, before we started recording today, I was thinking about how we start our mornings. Sometimes you wake up and drop your coffee, or you miss your train, and it feels like the whole day is ruined. Have you ever had a morning like that?
Oh, yes, many times. Just last week, I woke up late because my alarm did not go off. I felt angry and rushed all morning. It felt like a dark cloud was following me all day.
That is a perfect way to describe it, a dark cloud following you. But on the other hand, sometimes you wake up, the sun is shining, you listen to your favorite song, and suddenly you feel like you can handle anything. That difference, that shift in how we see the world is exactly what we are going to talk about today. Today, our topic is the power of positivity.
I really like this topic. But, John, I have a question right at the beginning. When we say the power of positivity, does that mean we just have to smile all the time, even when bad things happen? Sometimes I think it is impossible to be happy every single minute.
That is a brilliant question, Sarah, and a very common misunderstanding. No, being positive does not mean you have to smile all the time or pretend that bad things do not happen. That's actually something psychologists call toxic positivity. Let me explain that term. The word toxic usually means poisonous or harmful. So, toxic positivity is when someone forces themselves to act happy and ignores their real negative feelings. It's like putting a happy face sticker over a broken car engine. It doesn't fix the problem.
I see. So toxic positivity is harmful because you are hiding your true emotions. You are pretending everything is okay when it's not.
Exactly. True positivity is much healthier. True positivity is a mindset. A mindset is the way you usually think about things. A positive mindset means that when you face a difficult situation, you don't lose hope. You accept that the situation is hard, but you believe that things can get better, and you focus on finding a solution instead of just complaining about the problem.
That makes much more sense. It's not about ignoring the bad things. It's about how you choose to look at the bad things.
Spot on. Let's use an example. Imagine you're working on a big project for your job and your computer suddenly shuts down. You lose an hour of work.
Oh, I would be so frustrated. I would probably want to cry or shout.
Which is a completely normal human reaction. If you were practicing toxic positivity, you might say, "Oh well, I love typing everything again, this is so fun." That's fake. But if you practice true positivity, you would say, "This is incredibly frustrating and I'm angry, but getting angry will not bring my work back. I'll take a deep breath, make a cup of tea, and start typing again. I already know what to write, so it will be faster this time."
I like that. You accept the anger, but you don't let the anger stop you. You find a way to move forward. But John, is there any real proof that thinking this way actually helps us, or is it just a nice idea?
There's actually a massive amount of scientific proof. It's not just a nice idea. It physically changes your brain and your body. When you focus on negative thoughts, your brain releases stress hormones. Hormones are chemicals in your body that control how it works.
So negative thinking can actually make us physically sick. That's scary.
It can. But the good news is that the opposite is also true. When you practice positive thinking, your brain releases different chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. We often call these the happy chemicals. They make you feel relaxed, focused, and content. People who naturally practice positive thinking actually tend to live longer, have healthier hearts, and recover from illnesses faster.
Wow, that's a very good reason to try and be more positive. It's actually good for my health. So how can someone like me or our listeners learn to be more positive? Is it something you are born with, or can you learn it?
You can absolutely learn it. It's like a muscle. If you go to the gym and lift weights, your muscles get stronger. If you practice positive habits, your brain gets better at finding the good in situations. One of the best ways to build this muscle is through something called reframing.
Reframing. The word frame makes me think of a picture frame, like the wood around a photograph. What does it mean to reframe a thought?
That's a great way to picture it. Think of a situation as a photograph. Reframing means putting a different frame around that photograph to change how it looks. You're changing the way you view a situation to find a more helpful perspective. A perspective is just your point of view. Let's try an example. Sarah, what is a negative thought you had recently?
Okay, I'm taking a difficult English exam next month. A negative thought I have is this exam is too hard and I'm going to fail.
Okay, that is a very common thought. Now let's reframe it. We're not going to say this exam is super easy and I'm perfect. That would be toxic positivity. Instead, how can we look at this challenge in a way that helps you?
Maybe I could say, this exam is hard, but I have a whole month to study. If I study a little bit every day, I'll be ready.
That's a perfect reframe. You acknowledge the reality that the exam is hard, but you shifted your focus from failing to preparing. You took control of the situation. Over time, if you practice doing this with small negative thoughts, your brain will start doing it automatically.
I understand. It takes practice. Are there any other daily habits that can help build this positive muscle?
Yes, one of the most powerful habits is keeping a gratitude journal. Gratitude means being thankful or showing appreciation for the good things in your life. A journal is a notebook where you write down your personal thoughts.
So, a gratitude journal is a notebook where you write down things you're thankful for?
Exactly. Every night before you go to sleep, you simply write down 3 things that went well that day. They don't have to be big things. You don't need to win the lottery to be grateful. You can write down, I had a really delicious cup of coffee this morning, or the weather was beautiful today, or I had a nice conversation with my friend.
That sounds very simple. Does writing down small things like coffee really change your brain?
It really does. Remember, our brains are naturally wired to look for danger and negative things. This kept our ancestors safe thousands of years ago. But in the modern world, this means we easily forget the good things. By forcing yourself to write down 3 good things every day, you're training your brain to scan your environment for positives. After a few weeks of doing this, you'll notice that you start seeing good things during the day without even trying.
I'm going to buy a small notebook today and start trying this. 3 things every night. I think I can do that. But John, what happens when the negativity comes from other people? Sometimes I feel very positive, but then I meet a friend or a coworker who complains all the time. They are always angry about something. After talking to them, I feel tired and negative too.
That is a very real challenge. Emotions are contagious. Contagious means they can easily spread from one person to another, like a cold or a flu. If you spend time with people who are constantly complaining, their negative energy will transfer to you. We call these people energy vampires because they drain your energy away.
Energy vampires. That's a funny way to describe it, but it feels very accurate. How do we protect ourselves from energy vampires if we have to work with them or if they're our friends?
The key here is setting boundaries. A boundary is like an invisible fence you put around yourself to protect your mental space. You decide what kind of behavior you will accept and what you will not accept. You can't control how other people act, but you can control how you respond to them.
Can you give me an example of how to set a boundary in a conversation?
Certainly. Let's say your coworker always comes to your desk to complain about the boss. You want to be polite, but you don't want to listen to negativity for 20 minutes. You can say, I understand you're frustrated with the boss, but I really need to focus on my work right now. Or you can try to change the subject by saying, that sounds difficult, but hey, did you hear about the new restaurant opening downtown?
So you acknowledge their feelings quickly, but you don't invite them to keep talking about the negative thing.
Exactly. You are protecting your own mindset. And if it's a very close friend, sometimes you have to have an honest conversation and tell them that their constant complaining is affecting your mood. A true friend will understand and try to be more mindful.
This is all very helpful, John. It seems like positivity is really about taking control of your thoughts through reframing. taking control of your focus through gratitude, and taking control of your environment through boundaries.
That is a brilliant summary, Sarah. You hit all the main points perfectly. It's about realizing that while you can't control everything that happens to you in life, you always have control over how you respond. And choosing a positive response is the most empowering thing you can do. The word empowering means it gives you strength and confidence.
I definitely feel more empowered after this conversation. I'm going to remember that my thoughts are like a muscle and I need to exercise them every day.
I am so glad to hear that, Sarah. And to all our listeners out there, we want to challenge you this week. Try starting a gratitude journal. Just 3 simple things before you go to sleep tonight. See how it makes you feel after a week.
Yes, please try it. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend who might need a little bit of positivity today.
Absolutely. Thank you all for spending your time with us